Like, I got a little cute little mama dancing on me. How can I not enjoy myself? You feel me? Like,
Aquarius.
hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a story time. Now, I've already done my eyebrows and my lashes just so that I could hurry up and have that part done, because those are the two things that take me forever. So okay, let me just get into it. So I was working at this grocery store or whatever, right? And let me just put it out there, I'm not gay, but at the end of the day, if I see a baddie, I will say something like, oh, you hella cute, whatever the case may be. If you bad, I'm gonna tell you. Like, just the same way if you think I'm a baddie and you tell me, I'm gonna want you to tell me. Like, I'm gonna be juicing some more. So I started working at this grocery store, but before we could actually start work, it was a 3-day orientation and a 3-day training. Like, the first one was the orientation, and because I was going to be, I'm not sure if I was going to be a working at the cash register at the time, but I know when I started working at the grocery store, I was like on the floor. So like, if people needed help or whatever, like finding stuff, then you would ask me and I could like walk you over there or tell you what aisle it's on. And I did that for like maybe about 2-3 months, and I really enjoyed it, just because when I did move to being a cashier, I don't know why I couldn't say that. When I moved to being a cashier, when people would walk in, it would be easier like for me to tell them like, oh, when they would ask like, oh, where's this, where's that, it will be so much easier on the register because I already knew where it was from being on the floor. So I really enjoyed it, but whatever the case may be. So during my orientation, it was like me, another girl, we're gonna call her Madi, and I think it was like another girl, but I know for a fact like it was mostly dudes. Like, it was like me, her, and probably one other female, and then the rest were all men. We all was like separated. Like, some was working at my store, some was working in Richmond, some was being placed in other cities. Like, but I guess the store I was working at was the one that did the training overall, which was cool. So I really didn't talk to the bitch the first time, like the first day. The other girl that was there, I think she was like Indian, or like she was like Indian of some sort, because you could tell the way she talked. She had like an Indian accent. So just right off the back, I kind of just like kept my distance from her or whatever. But if she needed like help and ask me a question, because I think I sat next to her, I would like help her or whatever. But whatever the case may be, me and the girl Madi, like me and her kind of like clicked. As soon as we were done with orientation, we went to Payless, because you know they tell you like starting the job, you want to make sure that you have comfortable shoes standing up, because you're gonna be up. You know, some people working full-time, some people working part-time, and then on top of that, if you're a cash register, working at the cash register, you're standing up all day, bagging groceries, bringing people up. So it's good for you to have some comfortable shoes. And it just so happened that Payless was literally down the street, like literally walking distance. So me and her was like, fuck it, we finna go to Payless, look for some shoes. Like, we was cool, like we exchanged information, everything. Like, we was hella cool for like. So she asked me like, oh, are you trying to go out? And I'm okay, like, you feel me? So she had a car at the time and I didn't. So she's like, oh, I'll come swoop you, like, it's good, I got you. So I'm like, okay, bet. Like, all I gotta do is just get dressed. And I have a picture of me and her because I seen it on my Snap. So I'm gonna insert that too. But she's getting dressed or whatever at my house or whatever. Like, I guess she had just got off work. So she bring her clothes and shit to my house. And so she's getting dressed at my house. Okay, cool. And next thing you know, she's like, oh, she invited her friend. Even though she drove to my house, she wants her friend to drive us to the club. So I'm like, hey, look, I'm not tripping because I don't have no car. So I'm not even really tripping. So come to find out, it was a whole dude. I didn't even know it was a dude at the time, right? Because she just was like, oh, friend. So then dude, he like, I don't know, like when I ended up meeting dude or whatever, and I didn't invite him into my house because I don't know dude. So I don't know if she was like feeling some type of way about that or whatever, but I didn't know dude, and I just didn't think it was cool for you just to invite somebody to my house, like a whole nigga to my house, and I don't even know dude. Like, what the fuck? So he take us to the club or whatever, right? And like we cooling, we drinking or whatever. Like she smoked, so we smoking, we in his car, stuff like that, right? And then she like, let's dance. So I'm like, fuck it, let's dance. And then she telling me like, oh, she feeling me or whatever, like she like me, like that. And I'm like, how you like me? But you brought this whole ass nigga here. Like, I'm so confused. Like, I'm hella confused. I don't know if this bitch was thinking she can run game or what, but she definitely was like, oh yeah, I like you, whoopty woo woo. She's like dancing all up on me and whoopty whoop. Like, we cool it. Like, I'm telling you, like, we really lit. Like, I'm drinking and shit like that too. And I feel like when I drink, I loosen up. So, I don't know. Like, it was just lit, you know? Like, she wasn't ugly or nothing like that. So it's like, I got a little cute little mama dancing on me. How can I not enjoy myself? You feel me? Like, so then like the dude though who she brought over, he's sitting at our table or whatever and watching our drinks and stuff like that. And next thing you know, like she kissed me, right? And the nigga gonna come up and get hella mad, like start pulling her away. He like, she arguing with him, talking about just take us home, just take us like back to her spot, whoopty whoop whoop whoop. And next, and like it was just hella mess. Like they start arguing, he mad at me, trying to take her, like grabbing her by the arm. It was just hella shit, like, and then but mind you, she was telling me like when she was dancing at first on me and all up on me, she was like, oh, like she used to fuck with him, she don't fuck with him no more. He hella controlling, this and that. And mind you, I'm looking at her because it's like the dude that she brought, he just looked nasty looking. Like he looked washed up, done up, like some more like a bum. Like you know how like females be talking and they be like, what was you doing with him? That's kind of like how it was. Like, girl, you know you can do way better. Like, why was you with him again? So yeah, basically dude was like hella mad. Dude was hella mad that we kissed or whatever, and like he would just go on about it, like, yeah, I turn my head and I see y'all over there kissing with you, like doing the most. Me, if I was a dude and I was with two girls and they were kissing, I would have thought a little bit different, like, oh, let's go somewhere, let's take it back to the house, let's feel me, let's do a little something, like, you know. But instead, dude was really upset. Like, he was really upset. And I'm like, okay. So then we walking, like, back to the car or whatever. They still arguing throughout all of this. Like, they arguing. We walking back to the car. And I get in the car because, mind you, he was my ride. Even though she drove her car to my house, he met us at my house. Mind you, I don't even know his name or anything like that. So they're arguing, like we drove a little bit further. We're still arguing, they're still arguing or whatever. And he's basically telling me like, I gotta get out. And I'm, what the fuck I gotta get out for? But how are you mad at me because your girl kissed me and she's telling me y'all not even together? Like, what the fuck? So I'm sitting there hella mad, like I got on some heels. I got like, come on now, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. How am I supposed to get home? I don't even know what fucking club we're at. Like, the fuck? So the next thing you know, I'm like, you want me to just get out? Like, you want me to just get out? Because you like they're arguing back and forth. That shit getting hella annoying. You telling me you want me out and shit like that. So I'm like, fuck it. Like, I'm just gonna get out. So I get out or whatever. I get out the car. As soon as I close the door, he gone. Left me. Y'all, this man left me stranded outside. Like, mind you, I didn't have like no one to call to come get me, to pick me up, like none of that shit. Like, the fuck, I was hella mad. It was hella cold outside, and I didn't know what to do. Like, I'm literally like trying to figure out who do I call. Then me like, I really didn't know her. I only knew her because of training for work. I damn sure didn't know him. So I'm like, who the fuck am I gonna call? Like, who's gonna pick me up when I'm stranded in these hills? Like, so I was live and I'm telling them like, this nigga just left me stranded. Hella shit. And this dude gonna comment like, I come get you with the whoop. I'm like, bet. He came and he got me. Like, I spent the night at his house because I just didn't want to go back home. I just didn't want to go back home. I didn't feel comfortable going back home because I just got stranded. Not just that, but the bitch drove her car to my house. So I just didn't want to go back home at the time. So I went with him to his house. We didn't do nothing or whatever. Like, we chilled, we smoked or whatever. We was like stayed up talking, getting to know each other. And like I said, I had on like these pants, I had on heels and shit like that. So he got me like some slippers to put on. He got me some sweats to put on. And dude was like a real life gentleman. Like, he really came to my rescue. Even though I have him on Instagram, but I forgot his name and stuff like that. He was cool. Like, he was cool. He didn't try to do nothing. Like, he was just cool. Like, he understood what was going on. And even though didn't, it's just like, when I think about it now, it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, you don't know him, you don't know her, and then you getting picked up by a stranger and you spend out of his house. Like, you could just tell I was all over the place. Like, I was all over the place. And then, but the whole entire time that she left me, she's calling my phone. She's calling me, she's texting me, like, asking me, where am I? She's asking me, like, do I want her to come get me? At first, I didn't even think about having her come get me back from the club because I didn't know what was going on, because I didn't know if dude was gonna drop her off back at their house. But she was already telling me, like, she didn't even live out here from the get-go. She lived, like, in Richmond or something. So, how are you? I don't know. Like, I just didn't know if dude was gonna drop you off at your car. What? Like, I just didn't know. And I just didn't want to go back home and test that. Like, so I just stayed with him at his house or whatever. And it was cool. We smoked, you know, some big weed, watched movies and shit. No Netflix and chill. It was none of that popping off. And the next day, dude actually ended up taking me to go get some breakfast. Like, I'm telling y'all, like, dude was a real gentleman for real. Like, me and dude never hung out after that again. We kind of just like kept in touch with each other. Like, I know he was like going back and forth to Atlanta. Like, he was traveling, doing his thing and stuff like that. He was cool. Like, finally, like, I checked my phone and that's when I told her she kept hitting me up. And she was like, can I at least get my stuff? Whoopty whoop whoop, right? But mind you, I'm not responding. I'm not doing anything. So the next day, I found, like, after me and him go out to eat or whatever, like, I ended up going home. Because at this point, I just wanted to be in my own bed. Like, I was up all night. I got left. I got this bitch kissed me and her nigga got mad, even though that's not supposed to be her nigga. Like, it was just too much going on. So I was just ready to go home. And when I got home, I was like in my room. Like, so I took a shower. I was in my room changing my clothes and shit like that, right? And I saw like this bag, and I'm like, this gotta be her bag, because one, I don't have a bag like this, and two, she was like, can she get the rest of her shit? So what I did was I started going through her shit, like, because she kept asking me, like, can she get her shit? And I'm like, what is in here that's just so important, like, you need so bad? It was a pair of leggings, like some underwear, some socks, a pair of leggings. And I'm like, I might need me a pair of leggings. So my dumb ass, I'm like, okay, I tried on the leggings, right? Them leggings was like people who's in maternity. I'm like, oh hell no, they were hella big around the waist. And the crazy thing is, she don't even look that big. So I'm like, why the fuck are these hella big? Like, no, that shit was hella big. But I'm looking some more. I see some weed. I'm like, hey, I just hit the jackpot. I really hit the jackpot because she had like a whole little baggie full of it. And you know what I did? It's a store right down the street from my house. And I went and got me a Dutch and smoked. And I feel like it was definitely needed for my troubles. Because she was just like really doing too much. Like, it wasn't even really her. It was just the nigga. And I've never in my life like been through something like that. I was like hella nervous. I was like low-key scared. Just because I didn't know like what was gonna go on. Like you guys don't know. I was like really scared. Like, just because you never know what's going on. And I just feel like Oakland is just so rough. I just feel like Oakland is so rough and you just never know. Like, it's always somebody's face either outside on the wall or inside somebody's store talking about, have you seen me? Like, you go to Walmart, it's hella people pictures on there talking about, have you seen me? Like, I was just hella scared. I was hella nervous because you never know what somebody else's intentions are. And I just thought I was not gonna make it home that night. And I wasn't finna be walking down the street with like some heels on, hella late, 2 o'clock in the morning. Can't call no Uber, like, man. So I had just started walking till dude came and picked me up. But that shit was mainly, and after that, the orientation was already over. The 3 days, so I've never seen her again after that. To this day, I've never seen her after that. I used to have her on Snapchat, but I unfollowed her. Because it's like, what's the point? She the one who lied, because she was telling me like that's not her nigga, just her friend. But then again, like, that goes to show how dumb I am, because come on now. Like me, I feel like me, I'm just supposed to be all around smarter than that. And I wasn't. So that shit was just crazy. Like, Marty, she was cool, but just because of that shit happened, we ain't cool. Like, we ain't gonna ever be cool. And I ain't gonna never see her again anyway, so I don't even give a fuck. But it's the simple fact that that shit happened, like, y'all. But yeah, after that, I'm Gucci. Like, I'm Gucci. I am Gucci. That's why now I need like a real friend. I don't have no friends. I'm literally by myself every day, all day. My boyfriend just got me a puppy, so besides my puppy being my best friend, it's just me. Shit, I'm cool with that too, but who wouldn't want a girlfriend to go like chill with and, you know, all of that. That shit was just like really insane though, y'all. Like, for real. But hope y'all like the story time about how your bitch got played. Y'all, he left me. Like, I was stranded outside 2-something in the morning in this little ass shirt, crop top with some high ass heels. Like, really stranded, and had to call a rando for a ride that I got to go home the next day. Like, whew, I cannot believe that shit happened. The shit that I've been through. But my little story time is over. I hope y'all liked it, because y'all really loved the last story time. I'm gonna go ahead and finish my lips and do my hair, and I will catch you guys in my next one. Bye.